have been asking me how I'm using flash fiction and what I'm doing with my flash fiction. So I thought I'd take a moment and tell you guys why I use it, what I'm using it for, and how I'm doing it differently from other people. There's another video that I made on the basics of what a flash fiction story is, and I will link it for you here. Watch that video first if you don't know what a flash fiction is, and then come back to this one. So, have you ever been writing something and you just love your character so much? You love their history, or you love their backstory, or you love some specific element of their personality, and you just want to write it into the novel, but you know it doesn't fit, but you can't bring yourself to cut it out? I used my flash fiction for this, and I was so excited. I have a villain in my novel that I'm writing, my current work in progress. It's called the working title right now is The Champion Apprentice, and my villain is a sociopath. So for anybody that doesn't know exactly what a sociopath is, it's someone who doesn't have the ability to feel for other people. They can feel hurt and pain themselves, but they can't feel it for you. And a lot of times sociopaths are very dangerous, and if they are a serial killer, they are a sociopath. But they don't always have to be a serial killer or a mass murderer to be a sociopath. There's a more of a high functioning form of it, and then there's the other extreme. Well, I was completely fascinated with my villain. I was so excited to write this sociopath, and my mind just kept going back to, what would he look like as a kid? How did he behave as a kid? Because if you're a sociopath, it's sort of born that way. There's something in their brain that doesn't quite connect. So he's the form where he's born that way. He just doesn't feel empathy for other people. And I wanted to know what that looked like as a kid, and I wanted it in my novel, and I wanted to write it, and I needed to know about him. And I wanted to develop his character better. I wanted to understand him better, what journey he was on that led him where he is in the novel, but it didn't fit in the novel. And I couldn't bring myself to let it go. I needed it as a creative. Sometimes we just need to do certain things, and it's okay. Accept that. Don't reject it. Don't push it away because it doesn't fit your novel. Use flash fiction for that. So I used flash fiction to really explore a character, but then I also went back in time further, and I used my flash fiction story. I'll explain later. There are several stories, but I also used them to explore the history of the world where my novel is taking place. And if you have ever seen a BBC miniseries, they are fantastic. They are the difference between, they're the perfect middle between a movie and a TV series. And there's usually 3 episodes, and they're very, very long episodes. So I wrote my flash fiction stories in the same light that a BBC miniseries would do. And so I call them flash fiction miniseries. Mine, again, referring back to the video that I talked about before about the fundamentals of what a flash fiction story is. I'm not going to cover that in this, but essentially my story did have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And my ending was a cliffhanger. And my ending would feed into my next story in the miniseries. And so I actually have about 5 stories per miniseries, and I plan to use these as sort of promotion and bringing up the hype for my novel as I get ready to publish my novel. And so I'm going to start putting those out there and letting people see them and read them. If you are interested in seeing what I've done, I actually have it available on my website. My website is just my name, KammiLutz.com, and my first story in my mini-series. And from there, if you sign up for my newsletter, you can receive the entire first mini-series and kind of see how I break it down and how I do it and how I structure it just a little bit differently than other people. But I'm excited to know what you guys think about flash fiction and about how I did it and how you want to do it. Have you written flash fiction before? Leave all that in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe so that you don't miss anything, because I am going to walk you through the process of wherever you are to publishing your very next bestseller. welcome to my channel.